man. Congratulations on scaling King Kong, bro.
Man, thank you, bro.
That's
I appreciate
big stuff.
that, man.
No doubt, man. That's big
Thank
stuff
you,
for
man.
real, man. But tell me this, bro. It's gotta be stressful.
Stressful is not even, I'm sure, the right word.
Yeah.
But, it's been a blessing. It's been enjoyable. But the stress has gotten to me, and you know, I've taken your advice. I've been watching your content, doing the morning cardio. And it's really helped me. It's helped give me balance, calm my spirit in the morning, along with meditation.
Yeah.
And it's really helped a whole lot, especially getting that vitamin D.
I'm telling you, man, you know what I'm saying? The feel-good hormones, they don't fix. The feel-good hormones don't fix your problem, but it helps you to better address those problems.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Also, as black men at our age, 40 plus, bro, if we don't watch our cardiovascular health, we in trouble.
Yes.
And I refuse to tap out sooner than later.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Transitioning from the gym and switching it up a little bit, like you said, being outside, embracing nature, because I am a black man. We don't really embrace nature like that. It has really helped. Yeah, the current time. So I'm really thankful for it, and getting that sun and just getting that fresh air has really helped me start my day.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let's go.
Let's tackle this mountain.
Let's go, man.
So what I was saying, and they really didn't like it at all, but
what's up?
I was saying love is correction. It's holding your brother accountable to his responsibilities as a man.
Right.
His responsibilities as, being healthy.
Right.
You bring your brother's keeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I feel like as the lead of our households, as we want to be, we should be examples.
Yeah.
Right? Not just on how we look as far as our appearance and muscle, but the lifestyle.
Right.
Health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's important. It's important. I've recently, to even my brother's keeper, taking that literally, where I've helped my brother recently, lose over 60 pounds.
That was big.
Yeah, and it was important because it wasn't coming from a place of judgment or anything negative. It was coming from a place of love. And I think as I've gotten older, I'm kind of not holding my tongue for the people that I love that are closest to me.
Unapologetically who you want to be, but love is correction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally correcting your own brother.
Yeah, because there was a time I would think when you say, I don't want to offend, my brother, my sister, or any of my family members or my close friends, where it's like, hey, bro, you need to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I don't say that now, I feel like I'm a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Or I'm not addressing, man, I love you so much, bro. What's going on with your diet?
Yeah.
Are you eating? Or are you working out?
Yeah.
Are you being active?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's important, especially as a leader in your household.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you set the standard of how this family is going to move.
Yeah.
So as I've gotten older, I've become more vocal when it comes to the ones that I love. My brother's keeper. I love you, bro. What's going on? And we need to do that across the board, obviously, because us as men, right?
Yeah.
We suffer in silence.
Yeah.
You know how many times I'll call you or you call me, how's things going? How's the business?
I'm good.
We
I'm
good.
straight.
We don't ever really say, man, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I'm struggling, whether it's financially, mentally, or emotionally. So I'm really making a really intentional effort to check on friends, family, specifically my brothers, making sure everyone is okay, especially in this climate where we're in right now with the economy where it is, the elections. There's so many things going on.
And the wild thing also is in this new world, I truly believe that we're pack animals, men specifically. We like to move in packs.
Yeah.
But because of how we're living now, we're secluded.
Yes.
So we're oftentimes finding ourselves by ourselves.
Right.
But in doing so, we're not getting what we used to get.
Right.
Which is being able to correct one another face to face. Or seeing the fact of, man, this stomach getting awfully big compared to yours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I have a real comparison model of what I should be doing.
Yeah.
But back to the whole idea of love is correction.
Right.
Is even when it's uncomfortable, I'm gonna have to correct my man. Be it, yo, bro, that's probably a bad idea.
Yes.
Because, kids at the house.
Right.
Wife at the house.
Yep.
That's an uncomfortable one, but telling them, hey, man, put it away.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Bro, you putting on extra pounds.
Yep.
Perhaps get on the treadmill. That shirt looking a little tight. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
But, you could avoid that to not offend him, but now you're doing wrong. Because if God told you or put it on your heart to be mindful of certain things, you should share it with him. Don't keep it to yourself.
Right.
What God give us ain't necessarily for us.
Right.
It's for your brother.
Right.
That fellowship. And I like now, though, even with your community, or the community who I've created, the online community, is there's a safe space where men can actually talk about these things.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
we're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
This outdoor walk and talk we're doing right now, man, is a deal. A lot of guys don't have this.
No, they don't.
They don't have what
they
we
don't
have.
They
Get
don't.
my man up, let's go for a walk.
Yeah, let's just talk, man. And being able to be comfortable and vulnerable in those moments is such an important thing, especially within our community. Because like I said, we don't really talk to each other. We don't really communicate about some of the things that we're dealing with. And if I have a wealth of knowledge, whether it's financially, emotionally, mentally, if I can help, I should. I think I have done a lot of my friends, close friends, somewhat of a disservice over the years of not really speaking up. Hey, bro, what's going on with your health? You know, how you doing? I'm seeing that you, and then by that time it's too late and you find out, oh man, they're a diabetic or they're suffering with some other kind of illness.
You kind of got blood on your hands.
Yeah, I feel responsible for that because I didn't speak up.
You're not truly your brother's keeper.
Right, exactly.
That's really your homeboy. Help him out.
Yeah.
Sounds like we was in college back in the day.
Yeah.
If you was like super drunk or something, I make a bad decision. Bro, I can lie to you. If I woke up the next morning, realized I made a bad decision, but you were sober enough to have corrected me, but you didn't, I'm gonna be mad at you.
Right.
Because I was in the wrong mindset when I did that, and you were in a proper mindset to correct me, but you did not.
Yes.
The same thing translates to now.
Yes.
If I'm stuck in a tree because my mind is in a whole nother place because of a relationship issue, a financial issue, but you have that clarity, if you don't help me or correct me in the midst of that, when I do get some clarity later on, I should holler at you like, yo, when I was going through it, why you didn't tell me I was doing that stupid stuff?
Right.
Again, being your brother's keeper.
How do you approach it with not coming off as too aggressive or even being judgy when you talk to a man, a fellow brother, and you're like, hey, bro, you know, I see that you picked up, you know, some weight and you don't look comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I can see your clothes are really tight or whatever it is. How do you approach that conversation? And you say, man, you know, do you just be blunt with it? You know what I mean? Because these are your people that you care for and love for.
You gotta know who you're talking to, right? Yeah. And that's probably one of the advantages that me and you have being of the millennial Gen X generation is that we talk a little more gruff and coarse to one another. Yeah. So we're not so sensitive to being talked to straight on.
Right.
Unfortunately here, dealing with the younger generation Z, them 20-somethings, those guys there, I think for whatever reason it was in their life, they don't have that same bravo, rah-rah, I'm not gonna be sensitive to what you said to me.
Right.
If I am sensitive, I'm gonna say something back to you.
Right.
I won't tuck my tail and go cry.
Exactly.
So you just gotta know who you're talking to and how to approach them. We are two athletes though.
Right.
And we routinely on the football field or basketball court would curse each other out for a bad decision. And then we get ready and go home.
Right.
See,
It's
some
a
guys
form of
aren't
love.
athletes like that.
Right.
You really can't communicate with them like that. So talking to a man who's a little more sensitive could be a little different, but we still have to learn to communicate to him in a way that he can receive it.
I think you hit on something earlier that really resonates with me when you were talking about the lone wolf or pack, right?
Yeah.
For a long time,
we're pack animals.
I was somewhat of a lone wolf, not because it was intentional, just because, you know, as friends and family, more importantly, your brothers, you know, as you get older, you have responsibilities and you have a family. You know, he's over here doing his thing, he's doing his thing. And sometimes you become isolated and you don't even know it until you wake up and you're like, man, I'm out here by myself. Yeah. And now that I'm in my 40s, I'm gonna be more intentional at bringing us together. Let's have those conversations. Bro, what's going on, man? Let's go have a drink. Let's go talk. Tell me what's going on with you and how you're managing your life. You know what I mean? With being within an active family. You know what I mean? Because those are difficult. Remember Kanye had that song, I can't remember it, but it was Friends, right? Yeah. Where he was talking about we're too busy to even just take a call nowadays. Think about how absurd that is that we've gotten to, where we can't even take a call from our brother or wish him happy birthday or wish his family, oh, I saw your wife or your daughter had a birthday. It's gotten to that point where we're so separated, and I hope we can get to a place where we can have that camaraderie and we can all just talk, like just walk. Yeah. There's no reason why we shouldn't have 5 or 6 of our brothers out here communicating, talking about what we're dealing with in our lives.
Well, we can't reach the whole world, but with your community you just started, that school community. Yeah. With my school community, we're trying. Yeah. So if it's in the online capacity, online space, I'm still able to have that kind of fellowship. Although it's not in person, still having that fellowship community for that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's funny because you mentioned, or we did mention the way you present yourself, and people see us physically as being formidable. Right. So they say, oh man, those guys are big and brolic. But when we talk about being protectors and providers for our family, protection doesn't just mean you're visible. Right. Protection means being capable. It means you might know how to properly use a firearm safely.
Yes.
Properly use a baton, a katana, your fist, but some way being able to protect your family. Watch this though. Talking to our brothers out there, if you're not someone who is in shape enough to protect that woman at home who you call your wife or girlfriend, or protect them kids that you brought into this world, you're dead wrong. Yeah. And I mean that.
And you're dangerous.
Guys may take it the wrong way and be sensitive about it, but I believe you are falling short as a man if you're not in place to protect them in some capacity.
Yes. And this message hopefully won't get lost by all of the trolls online. I like how you highlight it. It's not about, don't look at us in the mirror as the physical stature. What you said is so right. Being able to handle a firearm, being able to protect yourself, use your hands, hand-to-hand combat. Well, I'm so thankful that my uncle, he taught me how to use firearms, going to jiu-jitsu and weightlifting and being conditioned.
Yeah.
Those are the things that matter. It isn't always about muscle. You guys get so caught up in muscle to protect yourself. I've seen some of the biggest guys get knocked out.
Boom.
That
Shot.
don't have nothing to do with
Yeah.
nothing. We're talking about being able to protect yourself and, more importantly, your loved ones and your family. And you are dangerous if you can.
Yeah.
You are a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think nowadays, they use the word toxic masculinity, or they label men that are really masculine as a problem.
Toxic,
but those are the first ones you call on when you have a problem. You see what I'm saying?
Right?
That same person
Yeah.
that y'all fear, or y'all say, oh man, he looks scary, or he's this, or he's too masculine or too aggressive. That's the person you want to show up when shit hits the fan.
Okay, so watch this then, because you said those key words. Here it goes. Patriarchy, toxic masculinity.
Right.
According to our early education, all masculinity was all things that present as a man.
Right.
Androgenic things, like our jaw shape, our protruding brow ridge, or our shoulder development, or the depth of our voice. That's masculinity.
Right.
I don't know who and when they attach the word toxic to that.
Right.
But all masculinity isn't toxic.
No,
that's
not
just
at
a
all.
version of masculinity.
Right.
But being masculine doesn't mean you're going to be toxic.
Right.
The idea of patriarchy. They say patriarchy. Down with the patriarchy, I've heard.
Right.
What is that? All I know patriarchy means is to be a male-led group, society, job, country, whatever it is. But it's not bad.
Right.
It can also be matriarchal. But we know that in this world as it's been today, it's been patriarch. So if you are fit to lead, so be it.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong in the patriarchy existing.
Right.
And
Nothing
if
wrong
it has
with it.
exceptions, then so be it. Just being a man don't mean you're a leader.
No, not at all.
Being a capable man means you're a leader.
There you go.
Which also means, fellas, if you're not watching your health to be here and be whole-bodied, or if you're not watching your mental health to be able to make sound decisions for that group you want to lead, you're wrong and falling short.
Yes.
So you are not the leader you think you were.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all wrapped into the masculinity. Like I remember heard this once before. What are you talking about? You should be violent. You should be a violent man under voluntary control.
There it goes.
You see what I'm
Say it
saying?
again. You said you should be a violent man.
You should be a violent man
under
voluntary control.
Okay.
You can go there when necessary. You should be in control of your emotions. You shouldn't be jumping at every opportunity something happens, or uncontrolling your emotions.
Yeah.
But you should have the ability to be violent.
Myron, let me hop in there real fast.
Yes.
There's a difference. So it's not semantics, there's truly a difference. Volatile and violent. Volatile means it's at any moment in time gonna blow.
Yeah.
We're not talking about being volatile.
You don't
We're
want those
talking
people
about
around you.
You don't want them around you. They're too emotional and they're gonna let go
No.
at any moment, or blow at any moment. We're not talking about volatile, we're saying violent, which means you are capable of fisticuffs. You're capable of going there. But you said under voluntary control,
right.
which means I can do it, but I'm intentionally subdoing that.
Right.
Right? Understand that. Volatile, violent. Two different things.
Two different things.
Okay.
You got to be in control of yourself
Gotta
at all
establish
times.
that part.
Right. Absolutely.
Bro, man, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, man.
I guess we'll get a few more steps in
Yeah,
to
man.
that next point.
Let's get up to this mountain, man.
Word.
Let's go. Man, this walk is serious,
Yeah.
man. But you had said something earlier when we were talking. You were talking about as we mature and as we age, right? Our
Yeah.
priorities change.
Yeah.
So my question is this to you. As you've aged and as you matured, prioritizing or only worrying about your family, is
Yeah.
that a real thing? Like, you're not necessarily worried about the world,
Bruh, I promise
election.
you.
I'm worried about my children and my wife. And does that a selfish thing, or is that a necessary thing?
Not at all. In fact, I'm going to use the actual election itself because it's a hot topic right now. We all have
Right.
an opinion, right? As I rank and order priorities, where I'm at in life, having two middle schoolers, a boy and a girl, having a wife, a 40-year-old working age woman, I have concerns. So when I look at different parties or candidates, whatever's speaking to me at that point in my life, that's what I'm actually gonna lean into.
Right.
So that means I might be on this side of the aisle or that side of the aisle, based on where I'm at in my life. Now, don't get me wrong, my community will go beyond my four walls of my home, but priority has got to be my home first.
Right.
Then I make decisions based on, being a man, or being a black man, or being perhaps a Christian, or being perhaps, whatever it may be here. Right. So you're right. I truthfully believe that I rank order things based on where I'm at in life now for consideration.
Yeah,
that's some practical advice for your real world goals.
There it is.
Yeah, man. That's good stuff, man, for real. Bruh, so that reel I sent you, that was pretty interesting. The comment section was going wild on it. Yeah. They were talking about how the predators, the SA child predators, were choosing their victims. And he said they surveyed a bunch of actual predators,
right,
and asked them how do they choose their victims.
Yeah.
And he said they chose them based on the father being present, or him being formidable.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the comment section was going off saying, yo, this is wrong. But I'm like, yo, you got convicted felons telling how they profiled it.
He's telling you. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was real, man, because I remember when you sent it to me, why it resonated with me was because, my first child is a daughter, my girl, and my baby. And me and her mother, we weren't together. And there's a certain point where we went our separate ways. And why it resonated with me was because that was the first time that I got scared because of what that video said, was not being present each and every day. Yeah. So another man being around, looking at them as a victim.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Victim,
easy
soft
victim,
target.
right?
Yeah.
Because a man being around gives a level of hesitation to try anything, but more importantly, a formidable man.
Yeah.
Now, if you are a frail guy, no disrespect to them, and if they look at you like, oh, he's food too, I can take him, I'm not worried about him. So that was like probably at a very young age, like at 19, where I was like, yo, this is real, this is serious, and I felt it, and I internalized it.
You made a point to make sure you're gonna be present.
Make sure I'm present and make sure I'm there, because whether it's a boy or a young girl, they can be taken advantage of, and a mother can be taken advantage of as well. Yeah. So it really, really resonated with me on a whole nother level. A
whole nother reason to make sure you are, one, gonna be healthy enough, fit to fight the literal fight, but second, fit to fight in case you end up dying early. So being able to actually stay here healthy, system-wise.
Yes.
So, as I see it, I think we should make sure that we're healthy enough to be here to protect them physically.
Yes.
But also just being here, not dying early is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be here late until at least she or he meets someone that can actually help them as well.
Right, and like you said, it's not necessarily, don't look at us as the muscles and the extreme, right? But just being capable. Yeah. Being in shape, being able to run, being able to, knowing how to execute firearms and stuff like that, just being formidable. Yeah. I think it's too many guys when we talk about this, have these conversations, they look at us and they're like, oh, muscles, make you protect. No, we're not talking about that. Yeah, they help, but we're talking about being formidable in all aspects of life. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the point that I hope that they get and understand, especially with these predators being around and running amok as it seems.
Everywhere, man. Be here to help and protect your family, right?
Yeah, man, it's important.
Bro.
A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control. I also think that that's part of what makes a world peaceful. If you're around people who are dangerous but disciplined, then everyone watches their step.
Bruh, I like that clip. I think the key word, though, is volatile versus violent. Yeah. Volatile is like a chemical reaction in chemistry, right? Right. At any point in time, it could just blow. Right. That's how you should be. Violent is how you should be. But he said under voluntary control, which means you're capable of physical violence, but you voluntarily don't do it. It's simple as that.
Simple.
Man, that's practical advice for your real world goals.
Yes, sir. I like that. Oh, man. Be careful, big dog.
You got that right. Break your ankle after 40.
You got to walk down sideways.
Hey, man, no more than 6 to 8 weeks. More like 8 to 12.
Oh, man, that's a huge fear of mine, man. At this big age, breaking an ankle or anything is a problem.
Different. That's why men supposed to be strength training. Keep them bones strong, right?
Yes.
There it goes.
And it helps with your recovery.
There it goes. Matter of fact, guys, that's actual practical advice for your real world goals.
Let's go.
Bruh, how do you feel about the country in this direction right now?
Honestly, man, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things that I'm seeing that I'm don't like too much, and that has me concerned. You know, specifically the economy. You know, being in this recession, and obviously we're in a race for the presidential election. There's a lot of uncertainty, and it makes me, I'm gonna hold you, a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, I've always kind of lived by a rule of thumb where I don't necessarily care who's in office. But I am getting a little older. You know, not caring who is in office was based off of no one is going to stop my motion. But now that I have grandkids and I'm seeing things a little bit different, I'm starting to, you know, get a little concerned and starting to care a little bit more about what's happening. What about yourself,
The
man?
political environment does have a bearing on our responsibilities.
Yeah.
Our children, our wife, our ability to protect and provide for them. So yeah, man, it's funny. The older we get, the more our perspective widens and things we consider.
Yeah.
This is why my vote flip-flops. It goes one
Yeah.
side, the next side.
Yeah.
Whatever side is gonna appeal to me most at that point in my life. I'm voting more so on the party, not the puppet. You know what I mean?
There you go.
There you go,
There you
bro.
go. It's about policy, and
Yeah.
like you said, I've adapted that same mentality where I've voted what's on the best interest for me and my family,
At that point
not
in my life.
necessarily everybody else. My life is different than it was a decade ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't just vote based off the color of my skin or anything else other than that.
Life changes, a lot more responsibilities.
There you go, man.
Let's roll out.